Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. It's crazy, crazy things are happening. Welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. And listen, what time it is right now is crazy. We're talking to you guys obviously about the fact that Love is Blind are being sued. Yes, they're being sued. Being sued by Trang Dang. She was one of the girls on the Love is Blind season 5, and she's suing for being assaulted sexually by her actual partner at the time on the show, Thomas Smith, which is crazy enough as it is. And obviously, there's crazy things that are happening there are crazy things that are happening within the show. There are crazy things that are happening within the season, and this is just another thing that tops it off. So is this the end for Love is Blind? Depends how this thing goes. But other shows there isn't a show that I know of that's reality that hasn't had its own share of controversy. Big Brother had UK. We had Jodie, is it Jodie and Shilpa Shetty situation? We had that situation going on with racism, and we've had sexual assaults in terms of Ready to Love and stuff like that. Like, there isn't a show that isn't got some level of controversy that's really mad, that shouldn't be happening, and it's crazy. There isn't a show, right? Because you're dealing with human beings. This ain't no different. Love Island's had its own fair share of even suicide. So there is a lot of things that a lot of shows have gone through. But I guess obviously the way they deal with this and the way they handle this is going to be really, really important. So we're going to read the article to you guys, and hopefully just able to drop our own thoughts and opinions. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor: like this video, share it with somebody you like, share it with somebody you don't like, and share it with somebody who wants to watch more about Love is Blind. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because we create great content here. We're here to educate and to entertain, okay? And entertain you, we will, okay? All right. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because streets out there are hot. Listen, let's get into this. Let's talk a little bit about what Trang Dang said. So Trang Dang, who filmed season 5 but is not featured in the episodes, is suing production company Kinetic Content after claiming she was sexually assaulted on set by her former fiance, and Kinetic allegedly did nothing to stop it. According to a complaint obtained by the People, in the suit, Dang also claimed she was falsely imprisoned while filming, and producers acted with negligence. Since her initial filming, Dang has also sued production company Delirium TV, which Kinetic alleged that it delegated responsibility for shooting the relevant season of Love is Blind per the docs. The producers are throwing money at the problem by spending an inordinate amount of money on losing legal positions that do nothing but delay the parties from having their day in court. They lost on 3 distinct legal issues before trial court, and then filed 3 separate appeals to multiply the proceedings we have to wade through before finally trying this case. Damn. Dang's attorney, Benjamin W. Allen of Wallace and Allen LLP, tells People in a statement via email, "But we are confident that Ms. Dang's position will be vindicated once we get there, and are committed to seeing it through all the way. We have to hold the show producers accountable. We have an ethical duty to our client to do so, but also feel a moral obligation to the next generation of reality show participants." Crazy. Before I go any further, and just say, first and foremost, that's quite an allegation to make, that they're throwing money at spending money at kind of almost trying to drag the situation out further so you don't have your day in court. That is something big companies will end up doing, because they know that, you have a limited amount of money. How far can she go? But you know what, when someone's determined, they'll have their day in court. And it further just kind of shows again that you might be a little bit guilty too, right? So by dragging it out rather than actually addressing the issue. Now, of course, that's probably maybe underneath the advice of their lawyers or whatever. And lawyers don't play fair, they don't play nice, and they don't really care. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't it. Okay. In his first statement regarding the news, Colleen, who is actually, I think, part of the show, I think is he the CEO or whatever, speaks out to the People and says he supports people coming forward about sexual assault, but insists production was never told that she felt unsafe or experienced any of the allegations that she made. If anybody came to us and said they felt unsafe in a way, we would immediately remove them from the experiment and talk to them and try to get to the bottom of it, he says. Unfortunately, in this case, that kind of sentiment was never addressed to us in any way, nor was any alleged wrongdoing brought to our attention ever. Colleen also calls Dang's false imprisonment claims preposterous, as participants are always free to walk away from the show, like what has been done in the past with previous cast members, and most recently in the season with Aaliyah Cosby, Taylor Rue, and Jared J.P. Um, Kinetic LLC and Delirium TV LLC also echoed those words in a joint statement to People. We support and stand with victims of sexual assault, but Ms. Dang's claims against the producers are meritless. Hey, we document the independent choice of adults who volunteer to participate in a social experiment. Their journey is not scripted, nor is it filmed around the clock. We have no knowledge or control over what occurs in private living spaces when not filming, and participants may choose to end their journey at any time, the statements read. Now, the question is, was this on film? Question is, the question is whether she was on film. If this stuff is on film, then we need to see the film. You know what I mean? If this stuff was done on camera, then we need to see the film. If it was off camera, I do understand their position in the sense of, like, if you know that this is happening to you behind the scenes, but you don't let us know, I can also understand their position. The question is whether that actually happened. Right? The question is whether it wasn't on whether the question is whether it was on film. Two, whether she also let them know and they ignored it and left it alone. That's a big question. We take any and all concerns of our participants seriously and prioritize their well-being. Obviously, we cannot address undisclosed concerns. And throughout the time that Ms. Dang was involved in the production of Love is Blind, she never informed the producer of any alleged wrongdoing of any kind, nor did she choose to end her participation in the experiment. Instead, Ms. Dang continued in the experiment for weeks after the time her lawyers now claim an incident occurred. Okay, we deny and will vigorously defend allegations against us, it concludes. According to complaint, Dang says she was aggressively recruited by Kinetic's casting team to appear in season 5. I mean, that's probably true. I mean, again, that's not illegal, but that's true. Though she did not seek involvement, she eventually agreed to the show. I mean, again, that's your business. You chose to do that show. During filming, the suit alleges that the cast was intentionally sequestered for 2 weeks in the pods without use of their cell phones, passport, wallets, or communicative devices. They did say that they did take away, their contact with outside world because they want them to be focused on here, and it means also they can't read about themselves, they can't spill information, and etc., right? Which is what I've heard as well, right? Over multiple days of filming in multiple events, including Houston, Kinetic Content and Delirium TV provided cast members with alcohol but limited food. The lawsuit reads, are we back here again? Love Blind. Are we back here again? Now, don't get it twisted. This is not new. Ready to Love has the same issue. Own TV. This seems to be a tactic by, I told you TV is demonical. TV is demonic. I've said this, bro. Like, the same kind of tactic once again. I need to change my camera because it seems to be playing up. Sorry, guys. I'm going to change my camera so you guys can see it because it seems to be playing up, and it's not behaving righteously right now. Okay. So yeah, no. So in reality, like this seems to be happening quite a bit, right? The food situation. It says this combination was designed to encourage them to encourage them to engage in striking conversations and actions that would increase viewer ratings, whilst on set for up to 18 days, 18 hours per day. Kinetic Content and Durham TV required Ms. Dang to request permission to do virtually anything, including using the restroom, which they said they do agree with. It does. They do have to request it. Because in the restroom, they said that the set design or something like that is a bit mad, so they have to. She was prohibited from leaving her hotel room without express permission and kept under 24 hours surveillance. Again, I think they did say something about this. You being in your hotel, can't go anywhere per se, because again, they don't want to ruin the experiment. You go and seeing other people, seeing faces, whatever. So again, that also might be it. Addressing allegations, Colleen says they are absolutely false. These allegations are 100% false and defamatory. It's not true in any way. We don't push alcohol. Everyone has consistent and regular access to food and water, he says, noting that participants are only required to notify them about using the restroom when they're in the pods due to confusing layout of set and potential to disrupt the experiment. In the pods, they're on a 68,000 square foot sound stage where it's dark. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of equipment. And even for me, it's very confusing to get around from place to place, he explains. Because of that, and because we want to protect the integrity of the experiment, we do not want them wandering around by themselves and wandering over in other sexes' living quarters, because sometimes people are tempted to do what? to do that. We want to avoid that. So if they need to go to a bathroom, they tell us and we have someone escort them to the bathroom. He adds, this is how it works in the pods. When they're out of the pods, they can go to the bathroom whenever they want. During her time in the pods, Dan got engaged to a fellow participant. Hold on. That's crazy. Participant Thomas Smith. According to a lawsuit, neither Dang nor Smith were listed as participants when season 5 cast was announced by Netflix in September. The two then flew to Mexico, where Dang alleged she was sexually assaulted by Smith May the 3rd, 2022, while filming was going on. Okay, so if film was going on, there's evidence. Do you get what I'm saying to you? There's evidence. In response to the allegations, Smith's attorney, Kit Patterson, tells people that they do not comment on ongoing litigation. Smith, and without Miss Dang's consent, forcefully groped her, exposed himself in the nude, repeatedly made sexual contact over her express objections. The complaint reads, noting that because of kinetic content and delirium's 24-hour surveillance of cast members, most of it, not all of these traumatic acts were likely captured on film. Okay, so it says because of the 24-hour surveillance of cast members, most of it, not all, they were captured on film. Well, we have to wait and see. Hopefully, there's some evidence that's going to provide this and make this a shutdown case. The complaint notes that Dang is not a very assertive person and was baffled that no one had intervened to stop the harassment. She allegedly reported the incident, but according to the suit, had an assistant producer who gaslighted her, implying that she was at fault for what had happened with Thomas Smith by not communicating effectively or somehow not taking the relationship seriously. I mean, again, I need to hear his side of things. I'm not just going to run and straight away believe her either, because I think we've also seen certain things in the recent weeks and recent months that, people can see things differently, and also as well, people can lie. So I'm not going to say that definitely is the case here. I'm just going to say we have to be open, that until we get the other side, we can't jump down. Dang also claimed that Smith harassed her during a May 14th phone call in Houston. The alleged incident resulted in Smith calling producers and complaining that she had reported his behavior. Per the suit, also in Houston, Dang alleged that she was unable to go anywhere freely and her movements were continuously monitored by a wrangler. After multiple alleged attempts to notify producers about experience, Dang decided to quit the show, but claimed she was told she had to film a final scene in which she was fed lies by producers. After this horrific experience, Ms. Dang consulted with her attorney, the lawsuit states. However, Colleen insists that Dang's claims are not true, as production does not film all day. She alleges did not raise an issue regarding the result, and they did not interfere with what participants say on the show. She did not make any kind of claim of assault of any kind. He says, we will not continue filming someone who's expressing that incident sort of happened. We have round-the-clock psychologists, a highly trained production team. We have a whole battalion of people whose job it is to make sure that we prioritize our participants' well-being, but the participants has to be actively involved in that process. Whew. I mean, listen, it's a lot of reading. I can't even lie to you. I mean, I'm even tired, Sha. There's too much. There's too much. Uh, there's a lot. I can't lie to you. There's a lot here. Um, and in all honesty, and I'll read it. I'll read the rest anyway, so don't worry. But it's just like, this is scary. Like, if what she said is true, it very much is scary, because usually what it is coercion. It's not a direct forceful hand. It's coercion usually, right? And coercion usually works on people that oftentimes don't have very strong assertive boundaries, right? So you kind of coerce a person through like subtle hints and threats and stuff like that, you know. Um, so yes, it does happen, right? It might happen on this. It might have happened for her in this situation, right? She might have felt like the people were kind of pushing her, directing her, trying to guide her to a particular place. So I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I'm going to say again, this is potential that it did happen, because clearly she's gone through something and got this experience, which is, again, the food situation, the alcohol situation. These are several things that happen as well. Okay, let's read on. Claiming that you're falsely imprisoned on Love is Blind is preposterous and ridiculous. You come and you go as you choose. You are not required to stay. If you stay, it's your decision. He continues. The participants are not under our control. They are living their lives. We come in, we film them for a period of time, we leave, and they can leave, as many, many, many people have before, anytime they want. Colleen adds, we're not filming around the clock. We're not mounting our cameras in their personal living spaces. We don't do that. We're like a documentary. They are alone during a period of time. They are not under surveillance. We do not tell people what to say, what to do. We consistently tell people that this is their journey, this is their life, and leads as they choose. they dare to follow it. After filing the suit, Dan claimed kinetic content responded with a special appearance motion, claiming it is a non-resident and that all filming and shooting was performed by Delirium TV per the suit. Dang alleged this action was made in bad faith and resulted in her sanctions for kinetic content, subsequently filing a TCPA motion to dismiss. I have no clue what a TCPA motion actually is. A Texas state judge, eventually denied the motion, which prompted kinetic content to appeal. It got rejected. Hold on a minute, brother. Wait, it got denied. According to the suit, in a brief filed in August, Kinetic Content urged it was within its rights to file the special appearance and TCPA motion, claiming Dang has been threatening and bullying the companies while they're attempting to defend themselves against her claims. Kinetic Content has since been granted an extension to reply to Dang's reply on Tuesday. Of the ongoing litigation, Colleen says, we will vigorously defend ourselves. I'm not in a position to speculate about what happens with adults on their own time behind closed doors. I want to be really, really clear about that. I'm not saying her allegations of sexual assault are or are not true. I'm not in a position to say that. I'm truly supportive and empathetic of people who make these claims. But what I will say is that allegations against us are completely meritless. Hey, the reason is because while I'm incredibly empathetic and understanding that sometimes it is difficult for people to speak up about these issues, if no one comes forward to inform us of a concern or a claim, there's literally nothing we can do about it, he adds. I urge people, whether it's on our show or any show, or frankly in life, if you are in an uncomfortable situation, if you're in a situation where you feel unsafe, or you feel that something has happened in line with that, in line with what is alleged in this suit, you should lean on a support system and speak up. And now I do. So when it comes to obviously sexual assault and stuff, people have different responses. Some people flop, some people freeze, some people fight, some people befriend. There are different responses. One of the hardest ones is when people freeze or when people like kind of flop, where people even friend, right? People can befriend the attacker, and that can make it very difficult for other people because people are just want to see the fight response, and that's what makes it difficult to really understand whether someone's gone through something or whether someone's kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. And so I do understand his position in their position and saying, hey, if you've gone through something, let me let me encourage you to speak up and say your piece, because we're not going to know. And I do understand that now, but she's claiming that she did speak up. Mm, you know, she did claim that she did speak up. So for me, it's a simple case of like, if there's some stuff on camera, let the camera do the talking. Let the camera do the talking. If the camera has caught stuff, they should release the footage, but that would mean that they would incriminate themselves. This is probably going to be a long one. I think Love is Blind. I don't think this will ruin Love is Blind. I think this will further just be one of those cases that will be dragged along for another 2-3 years, similar to Danielle and Nick, and it'll get dragged on. She might end up winning, getting a settlement, and it goes away, and we go on to season 6, season 7, season 8. I don't think this ruins the show, if I'm honest with you. These type of things do not ruin shows, because people, the appetite to be famous, the appetite to be seen, the appetite to want to, for viewership, it makes money for us as well, bloggers too. This show puts money in so many people's pockets. It's rarely that these shows get ended because of stuff like this. Sad reality. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. We'll